Yeah, everyone, I'm really glad to be here. What's going on with me? Yesterday was my birthday. Yeah, thank you. It was also a good birthday because it was a 3-year anniversary of me moving to California. Yeah, I did it. I escaped. I grew up outside of New Orleans in South Mississippi. I escaped the rural South to come and tell jokes for you, so I really appreciate it. By round of applause, how many people are from California originally? All right. How many people moved here because you're fucking smart? It's kind of hard to mess up. Because even like 3 years ago, like growing up in the rural South for me, you have to understand, like my hometown, they look at California like it's still like the 1930s, like it's the Depression. It's just like of mice and men. It's just a bunch of guys around a fire. And some guy's like, oh, George, tell me about that Google bus again, George, please. Could I drive it one day? He's like, Lenny, gonna drive that shit every day, you understand me? You're gonna kick old Latino people out of their apartments, just ruin a whole community, do you understand me? Yeah, it's getting real, sorry. I'm bringing the heat tonight. I told that joke in the Mission once, and some guy who was like, he's like the whitest guy I've ever seen. Like, I'm white, this dude had like mayonnaise coming out of his pockets. He stood up, he was like, hey man, fuck you! And just walks out, I'm like, I guess you showed me. It's the same dude you see stumbling out of a bar at 2 a.m. like, man, let me tell you why Bon Iver's like our John Lennon. Blah. Some old Latino woman's up in an apartment like, oh, no me gusta Bon Iver, please. She has like 4 jobs. This dude's screaming because the arcade fire broke up. Told that joke in Tahoe like 3 weeks ago, and some guy's like, ha ha ha, and he went to his friends like, yo, arcade fire really break up? Like he was like super concerned. But when I was moving out here, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to California Land Dreams. It's coming true. I rented a U-Haul in Houston, Texas, and I drove it all the way like through. I had never seen the desert before. I had like the Five Will Goes West soundtrack on. I'm like, this is the shit. I'm cruising, and then I pull my U-Haul in front of my driveway in West Oakland. I was like, I fucked up. God damn it. This is what they mean by sight unseen. Shit. I couldn't pull the U-Haul in because there were 2 what appeared to be homeless gentlemen in wheelchairs kicking each other over what appeared to be a carton of milk. And then they dropped it and nothing came out of it. I was like, is cardboard currency here? What the fuck did I get myself into? And they get on the BART for the first time. I come to San Francisco. It's just a bunch of rich white people on hills smoking weed shoeless. I'm like, is this the Hobbit? What the fuck is this? These are very Shire-like activities. I have to give it to the Bay Area. You guys, you definitely have the best street performers I have ever seen in my life. It is amazing. There was one dude, I used to work downtown, and I would get on Powell BART every day, and there was one guy that he used to sing the song Stand By Me every day when he got off the BART, and he knew none of the fucking lyrics. For like a year, he knew none of the lyrics. He would have a little hat set up there, be like, stand by me when you want to stand. I'll be standing too, just like for 6 hours. And I'd get out of work and be like, when I'm standing by you, I'd give him $1 every day. I'm like, you are an angel on earth, sir. Someone's keeping it real in this town. Just laugh amongst yourselves when I drink, it's fine. What else? I'm losing my hair. Any other guys here? Yeah. All right, so can I hear the claps from the liars? Because I watched you all walk in. I'm constantly taking a survey. It's weird because I hadn't been home for Christmas in like 3 years, and the last time I went home for Christmas, my mother gave me a box of Rogaine for Christmas. Yeah, that's the appropriate response. And it wasn't even wrapped, it was just like a UPS box under the tree. I'm like, did someone just leave this in here? I had to take out my keys and like open the tape and shit. And I'm sitting there and I have it in the box and I'm looking at it and I'm getting pissed because I have 2 younger brothers and I don't know how science works. They have beautiful hair. It's insane. Like my middle brother looks like a poster of like a Hot Topic wizard just blowing in the breeze. And then my youngest brother looks like if Don Draper fucked another Don Draper and gave birth to his hair. I'm like, is that a helmet? What the fuck? And then when I get out of the shower, I look like Danny DeVito circa 76. I'm like, hey, Mom, Merry Christmas. Get those pigs in a blanket for me. I pull it out, and like my grandmother has the tape recorder, and you have to do that thing like it's a joke gift. You're like, ha ha ha, she got me. And then my grandmother giggled, and my cousins laughed way more than her. And then walked out of the room, and my mom turns to me, she was like, you need to fucking use that. I'm sick of fucking around tonight, San Francisco. Look at this, I'm 26. This is Benjamin Button type shit. This shouldn't happen. Ugh. Thank you. I went to a really nice barber when I first got here. I was like, all right, they'll fix it. Some dude in the Mission, and like, when I first moved here, I was like, all right, I gotta dress like cool San Francisco dudes. I had like painted on fucking pants and like suspenders and like a little Rocky like trainer beanie that's a little too small. Every dude in the Mission looks like they're going on like a gay whaling voyage of some type. Just out looking for Moby Dick, for real. And so I take off my like too tiny thimble beanie, and they do that thing where you go to a really nice like salon, they like play with your hair like it's a cat for like 11 minutes in front of the mirror. Like, what do you want to do with it? I'm like, more, motherfucker, are you kidding me? This is $85. This is on par with surgery for me right now. Fix this. You realize how much money I make, right? I only had 2 looks. Like if you don't realize like women, you keep your hair for a long time. If you're a balding woman, it's just like you're that one woman off the infomercial. Every other woman keeps her hair. But like guys, like if you try to like grow it out, like you have to do this thing. You only have 2 hairstyles where if you flip that shit forward in front of your face, you look like a 1930s reporter with a deadline. That's a bad look. And if you try to whip it back, that's called the weekend dad. And those are the only 2 options at that point. I got her with that one. I haven't seen her crack up the whole show. Killing it! It's called killing it in the business. Oh, man. Don't be sorry. I'm here to make you laugh. That's exactly my job right now. I realized last time when I went home that I'm related to Jimmy Buffett. That's no good. How many parrot heads do we have here? Yeah, Jimmy Buffett sucks dick, all right? He's terrible. He's from my hometown. I'll tell you why. Jimmy Buffett has these lyrics that are like kind of cool and that I can get behind, and then he just goes crazy, and I can't get behind him at all. Like all his songs are basically like, I've been swimming, drinking beer, and kissing women. I was like, all right, those are cool activities. I can get behind all those. He's like, then I went home that night, I smoked a hookah pipe and danced around the candlelight. I'm like, what are you, Aladdin? Who the fuck is doing this in their house? I'm gonna tell you one more story and get out of here because you have a great show. This happened to me when I first moved to the city, and this is the craziest thing a person has ever said to me. I was on a bus in the Mission District, and we all know the rules to public transportation. In San Francisco, they're not written out. They're in these weird, like, hieroglyph pictures, and we have to figure out what they mean. Typically, they mean no hamburgers and hot dogs, don't smoke, and if you have an 80s-style boombox, fuck off, all right? We don't need you on the 5. So I'm sitting there, and this old Latina woman sits down next to me, and she starts eating a bag of chips. And the bus driver, this is like a dude that's a year away from his pension. He's not taking shit from nobody. He's looking in that weird, like, 7th grade, you're in trouble bus mirror. And he's like, oh, no, ma'am, you can't eat on my bus. Ma'am. And I take the Smash Mouth out of my earphones. I'm like, this is going to be the shit in a second. We're going to find out who the all-star of this goddamn match is. So I'm sitting there, and I can tell she doesn't speak English. I feel bad. He's like, ma'am, you can't eat on my bus. And he whips the bus, like, super fucking hard to the side of the road. I'll never forget. He turns around, he points directly at me. He goes, yo, you speak Spanish? And I'm not trying to stereotype, but there were a lot of people on this bus in the Mission who looked like they spoke Spanish a little better than I did. And I go, no, sir. And without, like, blinking, he goes, well, try. Try to speak a foreign language? Are you fucking shitting me? And so I'm like, no, Ito, I'm an asshole. I'm trying to, like, your reckless eating of plantain chips has now embarrassed both of us. It's a thing now. All right? And these 2 Guatemalan women, like, giggling at me on the bench across. I could tell they speak both languages. These are 2 women that work harder in their lives than I will ever work in mine. They can do whatever they want. I'm the laziest person on the face of the earth. My job could literally be like getting blowjobs and eating steak all day. But if in between each blowjob and steak I had to move a cinder block 20 feet, I'd be like, this is fucking bullshit. Fuck you, Gary. You don't even work here. So I'm sitting there, and I know a little bit of sign language. I don't know much, but I'm like, you know, eat. And she just sees this balding 22-year-old aggressively choking himself and pointing in her face. And she runs off the back of the bus. And the bus driver just cracks a little smile, and he goes, all right, that works too, and just takes off. All right, everyone, I'm Drew Platt. Thank you so much.